So I'm recording this at the beginning of the holiday season in 2021, and I'm very pleased about a decision I didn't make 2 years ago. You see, 2 years ago, I was trying to conform to our culture. I was getting ready to propose to my girlfriend. We had known each other for 2 years at that point. Now, we still get along. Don't get me wrong, but I think we like our own ways a lot better. Now, 10 years before I was planning to propose to my girlfriend, I had another relationship that was a very different story. Right, I had almost dropped out of school. A very abusive relationship, and after I broke up with that girl, I asked God for just one favor. I asked God that if I ever got into the wrong relationship, whether it be abusive or whether it just be the wrong match or anything, to please intervene. And I'll accept it for what it is, even if you have to intervene in a bad way, right? If I have to make a silly mistake or to have life troubles and not be able to continue seeing her, just intervene in some way. So 10 years after that, my prayer finally paid off when God decided to keep the two of us 6 feet apart, right? And both of us became very happy that we were 6 feet apart. She needed to focus on her studies. She's working on, she was on her final year of college at that point. Now she's looking into her career. I haven't really followed up in detail very much. We still chat from time to time. And I needed to focus on gaining some social skills, right? This past year, my resolution has been to get over my fear of loud environments. I also needed to clean up some of my lifestyle habits. You guys have been following for the last 2 years. Now, another thing I noticed is that instead of having one connection, I like networking a whole lot better, right? I used to have this mentality that I couldn't understand why people had a problem with cheating, right? In my mind, cheating meant that both of us can network with more people, right? I never understood why people fought over cheating. That's just the kind of nature I have, right? I like to network with as many people as I can. Right now, I'm trying to get to know people at a board game club here in the Seattle area. Unfortunately, it's a lot harder than it was when I was living in Phoenix. You guys saw me in Phoenix. I believe I even recorded a couple videos of the board game club while I was there. Now, over the last year, I got to have 3 really good connections with female friends. I mean, they tried to get a little bit more involved than I wanted to, but it was nice to get to know these people, get to know a few different backgrounds, right? I got to know a girl here locally in Seattle at a place that I frequent a lot. And I got to know her mom, and one night she and I talked, a very heart-to-heart conversation, almost like she was planning our future, right? And I had to break the news to her that, it's good to have a best friend forever, but that's it, right? And she was okay with that too. It was good practice. And then I moved on to Phoenix, Arizona. I was living there for 4 months earlier this year, and I got to know a girl at the board game club, and she heard about my intermittent fasting, and so I learned about Yom Kippur, and I went on a fast with my first 24-hour dry fast, right? Usually I'll still have fluids, but not for Yom Kippur, obviously. And it's good to experience that and just have a heart-to-heart connection with somebody, right? Now, during the quarantine, I really regretted that I didn't travel as much these last couple of years, right? Or I did, but I didn't travel back to Europe. I had a couple computer conferences, but they were all in the Asia area, right? Taiwan, Macau. Because 4 years earlier, I was in Warsaw, Poland, when I got to know a girl there. The hostel I was staying at, the owner's daughter, I had a really good conversation with her. And I had shown her how to go look at Jupiter and told her about the great conjunction that would come 3 years later, right? Little did I know that I wouldn't see her all those years, right? And then we had the lockdown, obviously. And I lost track of her. When I tried to look up that hostel again, because I was thinking after the quarantine I could go back, they had closed down and became a quarantine facility, right? So I don't know if it still holds true anymore, but for a while in Poland, if you could even travel there, right, for a long time it was only for essential purposes, you had to lock down for 2 weeks. I don't think it's the family running it, but I found the girl because they had an old Facebook page that they had never closed down, and I very nervously sent her a message, and to my surprise, she responded, and we had some very good conversations. And one day I went out for a walk on the trail in Redmond, Washington, and we video chatted. And so I'd much rather be networking than to have that one committed relationship, right? I'd much rather have that one committed relationship to myself. So, for example, I have to go shopping to find an Airbnb that would allow me to stay without proof of vaccination. I do have to get tested every few days, but I want to anyway because eventually you're going to need a recent test just to go to a restaurant here in the area. And, during the time that I was looking for the apartment, I had to stay in my car. I had to brainstorm quite a number of things, right? And then my car broke down and my window couldn't close. And it was raining, and I had to put up with it. I had to put some clothes over the window so that the car wouldn't get wet while I was sleeping. And I didn't have to explain to anybody all that, right? I just go my own way, right? I had to go to Ellensburg to get the car fixed and to have a place to stay when I couldn't find this place. And I just drove there with the window stuck open, right? And I didn't have to explain to anybody. Had I had a wife and I was dealing with this, maybe we would have had to rent a car. She certainly wouldn't want to cram into an Airbnb with lots of roommates, or we'd probably have to get something a little bit more luxurious and maybe have to even shop around because, Ellensburg isn't as strict about the vaccine issue. But anyway, just simplifies life a lot, to have the romantic relationship with myself and then to network with 7.8 billion people as opposed to the one.